$58 billion. That is not a typo. Americans over 65 leave an estimated $58 billion in benefits unclaimed every single year. And that number only counts 3 programs: money for groceries, money for the light bill, money that quietly pays your Medicare premium back to you. These are not loopholes, and they are not charity. They are programs you already paid for, decade after decade, out of every paycheck you ever earned. Today, I'm walking you through 11 of them. 4 are still yours, even if your income is comfortable. I'll flag those as we go. And the last one is a database the federal government opened barely 2 years ago that may be holding a retirement account you forgot you ever had. By the end, you'll have a short list to check this week. Most of these take one form once. I'm Clarence. This is the retirement map. Let's chart it. First, the obvious question. If this money is real, why is it just sitting there? 3 reasons, and none of them are your fault. Nobody mails you a form. Every one of these programs assumes you'll somehow find out it exists and then apply. The applications used to be genuinely painful, and the reputation outlived the reality. And the biggest reason is one word: assistance. Millions of retirees hear that word and decide it's for someone else. Meanwhile, the government's own numbers say that on program after program, fewer than half the people entitled to the money ever collected. So let me make this personal. Eleanor is 74, widowed, and rents a small 1-bedroom. Her Social Security check is $1,250 a month, and she has never applied for anything because she gets by. Keep Eleanor in mind, because by the end of this list, the exact same check is going to run her life more than $8,000 a year differently. The 11 come in 3 groups: what leaves your check, what the bills cost, and money that is already yours, sitting in someone else's drawer. Group 1, what leaves your check. Benefit 1, the Medicare savings programs. If your monthly income is under roughly $1,816 as a single person, your state pays your Part B premium. That's $202.90 a month, about $2,435 a year. That stops leaving your Social Security check. The lowest tier covers your deductibles and coinsurance too. I made a whole video on these programs and the invisible income cliff inside them, but here's the one number that matters today. Only about half the people eligible are enrolled. 1 application at your state Medicaid office or with a free SHIP counselor. Benefit 2, extra help with prescriptions. Social Security itself estimates this one is worth about $5,700 a year. Your drug plan premium goes to 0. Your deductible goes to 0. And your copays are capped. This year, $1,265 for a brand name, $510 for a generic. If you get any Medicare savings program or Medicaid or SSI, you're enrolled automatically. If not, you can apply directly with Social Security. The income limit for a single person is roughly $23,500 a year, which is higher than most people assume. Benefit 3, and this one is for everyone watching, no income test at all. Medicare's free preventive care, the annual wellness visit, screenings for breast, colon, lung, and prostate cancer, flu, COVID, and pneumonia shots, depression, and diabetes screenings. All of it costs you 0 when your doctor accepts Medicare. You already pay for Part B every month, and this is the part of it that's free. Yet roughly 2/3 of people on Medicare don't use any of it in a given year. You're paying for a gym membership and never walking through the door. Group 2, the bills. Benefit 4, food assistance. SNAP has the single worst claim rate on this list. Fewer than 4 in 10 eligible seniors are enrolled. And here's what almost nobody over 60 knows. Your out-of-pocket medical costs can be deducted from the income they count. So can much of your housing cost. Those $24 a month horror stories you've heard usually belong to people who never claimed the deductions they were owed. Most states now take applications online or by phone. Benefit 5. Help with the energy bill. LIHEAP helps pay heating and cooling costs, steps in during a shutoff crisis, and in many states will weatherize your home for free. Insulation, ceiling, sometimes a furnace repair. Amounts vary by state, so I won't pretend there's one number. But the application is one call to your local community action agency once a season. Benefit 6. Your phone or internet bill. The Lifeline program takes $9.25 a month off phone or internet service. Small number, I know, but if you're on SNAP, Medicaid, SSI, or a VA pension, you already qualify automatically, and the form takes minutes. That's $111 a year for almost no effort. Benefit 7. Property tax relief. And here's the second one that isn't only for low incomes. Nearly every state has a senior exemption, a freeze, or a deferral. And in many states, the senior exemption is based on your age, not your income. None of it is automatic. Somebody has to file one form with the county assessor one time. If you've owned your home for decades, this is the closest thing to free money in the entire tax system, and the assessor's office will never call to offer it. Group 3. Money that already has your name on it. Benefit 8. SSI. Here's the fact that surprises people. At 65, you qualify by age. No disability required. If your income is low enough, SSI tops a single person's income up to $994 a month, nearly $1,500 for a couple. To be clear, it's a top-up, not a bonus check. Your Social Security counts against it, so the smaller your check, the bigger the payment. I'll be honest about the catch. The limits are strict. Your countable savings have to be under $2,000 as a single person, and the income test is tight. But only 4 in 10 eligible older adults are enrolled. And if your check is small, one phone call to Social Security settles it either way. Benefit 9. Veterans, and the one your neighbor's widow has never heard of. If you served at least 90 days of active duty with even one day during a wartime period, you may qualify for a VA pension. And if you or your spouse now need help with daily living, bathing, dressing, or you're mostly housebound, aid and attendance can raise that pension to as much as $2,400 a month for a single veteran, more with a spouse. Here's the part that gets missed. Surviving spouses of wartime veterans qualify for their own version, over $1,500 a month, and most of them have no idea. There is a net worth limit, but your house and your car don't count toward it. Benefit 10. Unclaimed property. The states are holding roughly $70 billion in forgotten money. Old utility deposits, closed bank accounts, uncashed checks, insurance payouts. About 1 in 7 people has something waiting. The search is free at missingmoney.com or your state treasurer's site. Check every state you've ever lived in, and you can check for late relatives too, because their estate can claim it. And hear this clearly, you never pay anyone to get this money. Anyone charging you a finder's fee for a free public database is a red flag walking. And Benefit 11, the new one. In late 2024, the Department of Labor opened the Retirement Savings Lost and Found, a federal database for tracking down retirement money from old jobs. Americans have left behind roughly 29 million 401k accounts holding about $1.65 trillion. If you changed jobs in the 80s, 90s, or 2000s, some of that could be yours. The address is lostandfound.dol.gov. You verify your identity through login.gov and you search. 10 minutes, and the worst case is you confirm nothing's missing. Now, back to Eleanor. She spends one afternoon on this list. Her income of $1,250 puts her in the lowest Medicare savings tier, so her state takes over the Part B premium, $2,435 a year back in her check, plus her deductibles and coinsurance covered. That same approval enrolls her in extra help automatically. Social Security values that around $5,700 a year, and her co-pays drop to pocket change. SNAP says yes once her rent and her blood pressure medication are counted, and SNAP makes Lifeline automatic, 111 more. Added up, the same check, the same woman, the same apartment, and more than $8,000 a year of difference, before we even count the groceries and the heating help. Nothing about Eleanor's income changed. She just collected what already had her name on it. Now, the honest section, because a list like this can oversell. If your income is comfortably above these limits, then the savings programs, Extra Help, SNAP, LIHEAP, Lifeline, and SSI are not for you. Close those tabs, you've lost nothing but a minute. But 4 of the 11 never had an income test. The free preventive care you're already paying for, the age-based property tax exemptions many states offer, the unclaimed property search, and the lost retirement account database. Those 4 belong to everyone watching this video, including you. 2 more cautions. If you're near an income limit, within $50 or $100, do not rule yourself out from a chart on the internet. Most states ignore at least the first $20 of monthly income. Some ignore far more, and the only answer that counts is your state's answer. And several of these programs have asset tests. SSI's is genuinely strict. The Medicare savings tests are milder and skip your home and car, so check the fine print before you count the money. If you want one starting point instead of 11, the National Council on Aging runs a free screener called Benefits Checkup that matches you against programs in your zip code. And every state has free SHIP counselors who do this for a living. Free, both of them. Nobody legitimate charges you to find out what you qualify for. So here's the whole thing in one breath. 3 programs shrink what leaves your check. 4 shrink the bills. And 4 are piles of money with your name on them, including 2 databases you can search tonight in your slippers. The average eligible household is walking past thousands of dollars a year. Not because they did anything wrong, but because nobody ever handed them the map. Now you have it. Tell me in the comments which of the 11 you didn't know existed. I read every single one. And if someone you love is over 65 or getting close, send them this video. The odds that one of these 11 has their name on it are better than you think. This is education, not personal advice. Your state's rules decide your case, so confirm your numbers with SHIP, Social Security, or the VA before you plan around them. If this was useful, subscribe. The Retirement Map charts one retirement decision every Monday and Thursday. And next time, if any part of your retirement includes a pension, there are 3 decisions you only get to make once. And one wrong checkbox can quietly cost your spouse everything. Do not sign anything until you've seen it. I'll see you there.